Well, hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that's called HCG. It's a therapy. It's not so much a diet. It involves diet, but I don't like word diet. I look at it very negatively because I've tried, you name it, I've tried it. All the diets in the world. For those of you who don't know me, I do have a large family and I do have 7 children, and I have been pregnant 7 times. And so my body, over so many pregnancies and the time, lost track of where it's supposed to be, the number that I'm supposed to see on the scale. And I've never had these issues earlier in my life, in my 20s and my 30s. And I took it for granted, I guess, because I would gain like 25 to 50 pounds during each pregnancy, and I would just swing right back into where I was right before, and it would only take me 4 to 6 weeks. But it wasn't so with my last 2. It was crazy. And so I've gained same amount of pregnancy weight like I did with my previous ones, but then with my 6th one I had 30 extra pounds that stuck on me, and then 15 extra pounds, and I was killing myself on a treadmill. I was buying the all the sports equipment. I was doing exercises and stretching and dieting and proper nutrition, and it did not work. I fell into huge depression. It was just like this vicious cycle of dieting and then gaining everything back or more, and then trying to figure out what I do next. And it ruined my hair, it ruined my skin. That took a while to bring back. What happened was, with my first couple of kids, I had slightly hyperthyroid, which made me lose weight, and so obviously I didn't have any trouble keeping it off. Just added more vitamins, and once I stopped breastfeeding, everything just went back to normal. But then when I went to my naturopathic doctor that I found here locally, what she told me was people, there are studies that were done, people that had hyperthyroidism earlier in their life, they're more prone to have hypothyroidism later in their life. And I was suspecting that that's what's happening to me, even though whenever I went and demanded to get those tests done at my doctor's office, everything came back normal. It just kept coming back normal, even though I had same symptoms like hyperthyroidism. And so it was really frustrating because I couldn't really figure out what's going on with me. And so I wasn't able to get good night's sleep. I had all these issues and they're very common with both hyper and hypo. The only difference is with one you lose weight, and with the other one you gain weight. And so you can ask my family. I was killing myself in sauna suits, on the indoors bikes for an hour every day, 6 days a week. It didn't make me lose any weight. I was doing weights, I was doing aerobics, I was doing beach body workout. It did not work. Even though and I tried intermittent fasting, it did not work. So once I found out about HCG, I got really interested, so I went to read more about it. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details because I'm not a professional, and anybody who's doing this, they should definitely consult with a doctor or someone who knows more about this, which is exactly what I'm doing. I am doing it 3rd time. This is my 3rd round. With each previous round, I was able to lose about 16 pounds. And that was with me cheating, because with large family and so much cooking, it's so hard sometimes. You lose track of what your hands are doing, and they just, carry food into your mouth nonstop. And so that's what happened with me. I still managed to lose 14 pounds at least with each round, and then I got pregnant with my last one, and it worked. It worked where in 6 weeks after I delivered a baby, it jumped right back to that number on the scale that I had before I got pregnant immediately, and I didn't gain an extra pound with that pregnancy. The only thing is that I was still carrying those 20 extra pounds. And so I didn't have a chance to lose that, because when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to do this. This is my last round. I don't have much more to lose, but I still feel heavy, and I don't care how I look. I usually go by how I feel, and that's what happened this time. So as always, it usually takes 21 days. People who have more to lose, they go to 45 and 60 days. But I'm going to do this very quickly. This is my last round, and I'm going to update you guys on how it goes and what I eat and all the tips and tricks that I have been able to find out and utilize into this lifestyle now. It took years, of course, and it took a lot of hormonal changes for me to get to the point where my body just lost track and started picking up everything it could and collecting it and saving and storing it. So it's not gonna happen overnight for me to lose all of that. I realize it. So they don't recommend you exercising on 500 calories a day. I don't take any supplements right now except for what my naturopathic doctor prescribed. She's only giving me chlorophyll that is fat soluble, which is really, really good for my hair, and it stopped my hair from falling out. And I also take thyroid complete care supplements, herbal supplements, and they also sometimes recommend adrenal support, but it was already too expensive for me. I couldn't do it. I've heard a lot of reviews on lozenges of HCG or shots, and a lot of people said that shots were more effective, so I went straight with shots. If you can afford to go into the office and receive those shots, or have them administered by somebody else, more luck to you. But if you can learn on how to do it yourself, just like people with diabetes do, that's a lot cheaper. So good luck. Not for the timid one. So it took me a few times. It wasn't easy, but I got used to it. It doesn't cause me any trouble anymore. And so this is my first week, first 3 days. This is day 6, but first 3 days, what you're doing is you're going through loading phase, which is you're just trying to eat more fat to the point where you can't do it no more. You just stuff yourself with greasy, fatty foods just to kind of fool your body that there's an abundance and overabundance of all these foods, so it's not going to start storing or not going to stall you. So for me to eat that much and that many greasy meals was really a challenge, because I'm not used to that and I don't eat that much anyways. But I tried really hard, and I've gained I think like 4 or 5 pounds in those 3 days. On the third day, when you have HCG built up already, you lose your appetite. So it's really hard to force yourself to eat when you don't want to. And on the 4th day, I lost like over 2 pounds. And then I kept losing a pound a day up until now. So I've lost, on the 6th day, I've lost total of 3 pounds so far. I will post pictures of what my meals usually look like, and on first 3 days of dieting, they're kind of similar. I just make the miso soup, and I have that recipe, video recipe, posted on my channel, so check it out. I'll try to link it below. Except that you eliminate vegetables that are not on the list, that you're not supposed to have. And that's exactly what I did. And then I used egg for topping. You're supposed to have some protein, and it's either 100 grams of protein or 4 egg whites and 1 egg yolk. And so I just added on top of my miso soup, or I call it miso soup, but I only put what you're supposed to in it. And it's still delicious, and because there is so much liquid, it fills me up, and I even have a little bit left for snacking if I go hungry, but that rarely ever happens. I know it's hard to believe on 500 calories and you don't go hungry, but yeah, HCG actually suppresses your appetite, and sometimes there are days that I can't even eat everything that you're supposed to. Plus, I tried to be more accurate and not cheat this time. This is my last time. I don't want to go through this again. So I try to make sure that my last meal is by 7 o'clock in the evening, and I try to get myself to bed by 9. So I started putting kids to bed by 7:30. We just read Bible, we pray, we just talk and spend time together, and I make sure they're in bed by 9 so I can lay down and sleep. And I usually get up throughout the night a couple of times to feed the baby, and of course there's always someone who wants to go to the bathroom, and you have to walk them, tuck them back in, get them some sweet tea, and my kids love sweet tea. I don't know, we grew up with sweet tea during the night, but I always make sure they brush their teeth before they go and after they get up. Once we're up, I just pack them to school, get their breakfast ready, and my mornings are super, super busy. If you can imagine, get 5 school kids out the door early morning on different schedule. You forget what you look like. You forget that you're on the diet. You forget everything. There's no time for me. Like, there's no me time at all. 0. I usually try to just clean up the house after that, take care of the baby, make myself coffee, and all I do is just sip on coffee, just black coffee with nothing in it, until probably noon or 1. Then I start prepping something for lunch for my 2 youngest ones that are still with me at home, and I'll think of something for myself. So that's my first meal, and I have to stay creative. I have to really stay creative once I'm on HCG, because if I eat the same thing over and over and over again, I get so bored, and it's so easy for me to quit or just forget it. Not going to happen. So I have to dig up some recipes, I have to modify them, I have to adjust them, and it has to look appetizing on the plate. And that's what I teach my kids a lot of times, because if we eat with our eyes first, if it doesn't look delicious, more likely it's not going to taste delicious. It's all up here. How it's going to end, how much I'm going to be able to lose on my last round, and it's going to be super, super hard one, because the closer to your goal you get, the slower it gets. So subscribe, like this video, and I'll try to post it every day from now and keep you guys updated on how it goes. I will also have references to my doctor, and you can talk to her online as well. I believe she's available. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed my life completely, because I've got way more energy than I ever did before, or for a long time. I feel like I'm back to life. I feel like I can work out, actually, because before I felt so heavy I couldn't even do anything. It was really, really hard. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, I will be posting before and after pictures at the end. So keep watching. It's not going to take that long. I only have 2 more weeks to go. And then there's maintenance phase. But for 21 days, I have to be on a strict 500 calorie diet a day. I can't wait until this is over with. Hopefully I can get through this once and forever, and I don't have to come back to it ever again. I just can't wait to get back into my old clothes and feel that energy that I used to have and work out. I've always been into sports. I've always done stuff outside with my kids, and I haven't been able to do that with all this extra weight. It's just made me feel heavy and tired all the time. I was like tired on cruise control or something. By 6 o'clock in the evening, I was so tired I couldn't even handle it anymore myself. But I'm so excited about all the recipes that I have, and I'm able to utilize it with HCG. It's not as hard as it sounds, and the list of vegetables and fruits and meats that they have, you can actually supplement lack of food with vegetables, because there's no limit on that, especially if you're eating only one kind of vegetable. Just to make sure, you need to kind of learn on how to make it look and taste delicious. And that's where you have to use your creativity and or become creative, and the rest is going to be super easy. So I haven't been able to walk or do any kind of like brisk walking or any exercises today. You're not supposed to exercise, but today's Saturday and it has been so very busy, and my family is still getting over cold and flu, and it was really nasty this last week. I was trying to videotape since day one, but it was just practically impossible because I was always attending to somebody. I hope you guys like the video, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment down below. I will be happy to answer those. And until next video, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.